Now before we get started, I want to talk about a couple little things to help you with interchanging the running man and rock. First of all, one running man consists of getting back to universal transition point. So not just here, back up to here, that's one. So and one, and two. With the T-step, same thing. We don't finish a T-step here, it's finished back up here. That's one. That's two, is when you get back to where you started. Now when it comes to transitioning into the T-step, to make sure that you end up on the right pattern, so that means ankles to ankles as opposed to toe to ankle. For me, when I pull up to T-step, I almost pigeon toe a little bit. So that means both my feet turned in like this. That way my ankle knows that it's gonna crank this way when the other one drops. So, and boom. And then I'm ankle to ankle every time I pull up to T-step, pigeon toe, that way I'm ankle to ankle on every T-step drop, okay? So if you want to start shuffling, what you need to learn is the running man and the T-step and how to interchange them comfortably without hesitation. Once you know how to do that, it's just about keeping in mind the universal transition point, which I'm going to explain, and then you'll know when to throw moves, how to transition out of them and back to your running man. And then it becomes about, you know, running man and rocking until you want to have an interactive moment with the music by throwing some sort of trick on it. You know, if you're trying to think about it how I think about it. So let's talk about this running man real quick. So the running man is going to start at what I call the universal transition point, which is a 90-degree bend on the right foot or the left foot. From this point, we can transition to 99% of shuffle moves. So if you're wondering how to clean up your transitions, get to here on an and then throw whatever move it is you want to throw. So let's start right here. We'll be up here on an and. The running man is going to consist of this right foot dropping to the forward position as the left foot simultaneously slides back a little bit. So that's one. That has to happen at the same time. Now, what we're going to do from here is pull the left foot up to universal transition point on and the right foot's going to slide right under me a little bit. So that's and. Now the same thing's going to happen on the other side. The left foot's going to drop to a little bit in front of me and the right foot's going to simultaneously slide back. That's two. Pulling up the right foot to universal transition point and the left comes back right under me on and three and four and five. So we stop here, 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 and here. If you skip one of these two slides, you risk looking like this, which is obviously, you know, it's a variation that you can play with in the future, but it's not a traditional running man. You want to make sure you're hitting all four of those stops there. So let's talk about the T-step a little bit. So again, we're going to start in universal transition point with my weight in my left foot. And if I'm T-stepping my right foot, then my weight remains in my left. So as my right goes down on counts, comes back up on the ands, my left foot is simultaneously turning in on the counts and out on the ands. So that's one and two and three and. Typically what I'm going to teach you to do is switch with a running man, four and. Other side would be one and two and. Not putting weight in this foot, the weight's in the foot that's staying on the ground. Switch that with a running man. So if you want to learn more about the running man and the T-step, again, see these mini tutorials that we have on our actual tutorials page. From here, we're going to go ahead and dive into these choreographies. So now once you have the basic understanding of a running man and a T-step, and you feel like you've got them nice and slow on an unsteady pattern, the goal is to get it steady, because once it's steady, it's easy to speed it up. We just have to get your legs going at a regular sort of muscle memory kind of pace. So our first 2 8-count choreography is going to consist of just 8 running men, and then what is called a rock. We're going to do 3 T-steps on one side, switch with the running man, 3 T-steps on the other side, and switch with the running man. So we're going to start on the right foot. We're up on and. We go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. A running man is not completed here. It has to come back up to here. So 1 full running man is boom, boom. So we're here on the and after 8. We're going to do 3 T-steps to the right and then 1 running man to switch sides. We go 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and. So just like the running man, a T-step isn't completed here, it has to come back up to transition point. So boom, boom is 1. So for that second 8 count, we went 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and same thing on the other side, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and 1 running man to switch. Now this choreography just loops, so you can just do that over and over again until you feel really comfortable and no hesitations. So let's do that again together. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what you can do in order to make sure that you're doing this nice and steady is actually Google the word metronome, and what's going to pop up is a little slider bar where you can actually set the BPM for how fast you want it to go. So usually, typically people will feel comfortable starting somewhere around 70. Work your way up 5 beats per minute at a time, kind of really trying to figure out where your problem zone is. That way, once you find that area, you can push yourself 1 or 2 beats per minute at a time and really like slowly but steadily feel yourself comfortable getting faster.